Welcome, welcome to today's Dashcam Diary of the Disabled with this ginormous bouquet. I don't even have a place to really put it without it getting squished. I guess I'll put it in my backpack and lean it against the seat. Oh my gosh, look at this. I gotta take this out. I haven't driven, I'm not driving yet, but look at this beautiful bouquet. Beautiful. It's just going to be a beautiful day all around right now. I just got done at my chiro and I am headed off to get my oil changed while I'm in town because it needs to be done. Could have waited till I got back from vacation, yes. However, my OCD really drives me absolutely bonkers when I have my maintenance light on. So, we're going to just go ahead and go take care of that maintenance now. This is one last thing I have to worry about when I come back on vacation, potentially doing it. And now I'm going to have to pass you. Safe, there's nobody else on the road, it isn't a passing zone, there's a double yellow line. Anyways, yes, I am still wearing this outfit, not really still, I took it off, I wore my pajamas, and technically I really shouldn't be wearing this without washing it first, but I got really excited. So I understand if I have some kind of rash or something pop up. Yeah, it's the chemicals on the clothes that I didn't wash off before I decided to wear the outfit. So, my own fault. Hopefully I don't get any kind of weird rash reaction. So, that's all I can hope for. I think it's beautiful. It's a beautiful Wednesday. I had my chiropractor. I have another appointment set up for Friday. I don't want to be coming here 3 times a week, but we really have to get aggressive right now with the way my body is acting with this bronchitis. I have to make sure that I'm taking care of myself to realign it the best that I can before I go on vacation on the 31st, which will fastly approach before I know it. I just really tempted to go shopping, but I can't afford shopping right now. I really can't afford it. I had a $500 vet bill yesterday. Oh, I don't even have my debit card to pay for things. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that sucks. That's stupid. I don't have my debit card. I have enough to pay for an oil change with cash. I do, potentially. Stupid. Where in the hell did I put my debit card? My mom borrowed it. I didn't get it back. So, as long as the oil change does not cost any more than the $155 that I have on me, I should be good to go. I was going to put this money back in my checking account, but what's the point? It spends the same. I usually do an extra service every time I do my vehicle. And I'm trying to think of what extra service I can do this time around. I still not break the bank. But I am also starting to sell some things online and sell some stuff so I can potentially earn some of my money back on some of the stuff that I really don't use anymore. So there's that. Welcome to my dash cam. My Dashcam diary. This is a diary of just whatever the heck I'm thinking about. And all I'm thinking about is trying to get my stuff accomplished before I go on vacation on the 31st. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am Chronically Happy. I may not seem chronically happy in all my videos. However, it's very important to understand that in order to be happy, you have to go through some tough times. Life is not linear and it's good and then just continues to go good the rest of your life. I mean, you can be extremely lucky and have a life like that, but typically it's ups and downs and all arounds, and it's all about balancing your life with the good and the bad and how you respond to the experiences that you experience, whether they're good or bad experiences. It's all about how you respond to the stresses of everyday life. So I was listening to a podcast, and I hardly ever listen to this podcast. It's on YouTube. It's called Diary of a CEO, and it's this light-skinned black dude. I mean, not that race or skin color has anything to do with anything. I'm describing. This is the description of this channel and who this guy is. And this guy this Diary of a CEO, this dude, he interviews people of all walks of life. He wants to learn everything about people's stories, how they're successful, how they failed at life, just they're professional. He gets professional matter experts on his podcast in whatever field he deems that he wants to learn about. So he interviews all these people from all walks of life. The one I was listening to this morning was with a dude named Kevin Leary, which is a self-made billionaire. I've never heard Kevin Leary's name before in my life, but apparently my chiropractor's heard of him, so maybe it's just my age, I don't know, but this dude is freaking rich as hell. And I'm not trying to listen to these podcasts for any kind of get rich quick scheme, because there is no such thing. There is no way to get rich quick legally. Well, I can't take that right back. I have to take that back, because in Vegas, prostitution is legal. Is that considered really easy money, though? I've watched a few documentaries about the lives of sex workers. I think that is the PC term that I need to actually use, sex workers. Or escorts even. Not all escorts are people that do actual relations, extracurricular relations. Some of them are there just to be dates. Honestly, people are just lonely. People need to talk to people, and isolation's not good. Humans are meant to be social creatures. We are meant to be social, and when you're isolated for extended amounts of time and all you have are your thoughts, and then you have negative self-talk and negative thought cycles because you're isolating and you aren't actively doing anything in your life. Well, what I've learned from the podcast this morning, and there's still a lot more to listen to, and I may or may not listen to the whole thing, but the key points that I got out of it is this dude, Kevin Leary, did work for Steve Jobs, who was, one of the wealthier men in the United States because of Apple and its success. But the reason why he was successful is because of a concept about noise. So you have, let's say, 16 to 18 hours of a day, and you have deemed these 3 to 5 tasks as catastrophic, have to be done today. You are not successful unless you complete these 3 things in the day, 3 to 5 things. And the number is relative. It doesn't matter how many things you choose. But for example, it's like 3. Let's just go with 3 things instead of 5. Just 3. Like, say you have 3 things that are catastrophic to the success and building of your entrepreneur lifestyle. Not all people are built to be entrepreneurs, and the ones that are successful, like Steve Jobs, and I hate to bring up this guy's name because of his controversy right now, but Elon Musk. So essentially what this Kevin Leary said, this self-made billionaire that actually teaches CEOs and has not just scientific reports, but his own 50 plus years of experience of success is because he learned at a very young age that there's either, he said there's two types of people. And he worded it different than I would word it. I would word it as two types of people, leaders and followers. In the business world, it's either you're the person that's the owner, or you're the one scraping gum, the worker, off the floor. Do you want to be the worker? Are you happy with being the worker? Or do you want to be successful and make something with yourself? So he didn't know, he had an interaction with his boss. It was like his first day on the job at an ice cream shop, he said. And, he really wanted to impress a girl, and he didn't really want to, he said he was hired to scoop ice cream, not scrape gum off the floor. Well, being a minimum wage worker, you are meant to do whatever you're told to do, honestly. And if you don't do that, you're fired. And that's the lesson that Kevin Leary learned at a very young age, that he didn't want to be the one scraping. He didn't want to be on his knees. He wanted to be the, he decided then and there that he wanted to be the boss. And now look at him, he's a billionaire. So he went back later on in life to that same ice cream shop, high turnover rate, any kind of place like that, When he became successful, he went back, and it was completely different ran by other people, of course. And I just went to show him, the high turnover rate is not successful. It's not a successful business if you have such a high turnover rate either. You want to have your employees respect you and do what they're told. They are there for a job, not to be your friend. Do I believe that you should be an ethical boss? How far does ethical get a lot of entrepreneurs, though? It is very hard and a very fine line to determine how a boss you want to be. Do you want to be a successful billionaire? Or do you want to be just a worker and not succeeding very much in getting further in life financially? Well, do you want to be an entrepreneur? Or just a worker and just get by in life and just do the minimal and not be super happy and successful? So the whole point of all of this is, I was just giving a little bit of a rundown of almost word for word what happened, changing it into a different order. So it's not really my it is somebody else's content I'm regurgitating. I should try to put that link in my description to back up what I'm saying, to say that I'm not saying it word for word, but I am paraphrasing and just trying to make it, my own, regurgitating what I learned just in the 20-minute drive to my chiropractor. I listened to like 10 minutes of this thing. Just to try and help wake up my brain. It helps when I have something engaging, like giving me information to help me wake up. My brain doesn't like to wake up by itself. So it does take me a little bit of time to I would be one of those people if newspapers were still a thing, but instead of still social media. I would sit there, have a newspaper and some coffee. Coffee's too acidic on my stomach these days, so energy drink now and social media now for me. But essentially that's kind of how I need to wake up. I need to take my time and my body to adjust to being upright as used to being on its side. It takes a lot longer for my body to respond to the stimuli around me. It just takes longer for my body to process it. And my mind. It takes a while for my body and mind to wake up. Both of them are still really asleep when I get up in the morning. Because I have to put myself out that deep sometimes in order to get any rest. Even if it's at my own detriment with causing more pain by being too stiff, being in the same position for too long. But that's just a risk I have to take every night I fall asleep. And sometimes I hate falling asleep because of that. Insomnia sucks. The disabled life. Gosh, it's getting cold in here again. Oh, too cold. Sorry, baby. You gotta turn on the AC. I got Stormy Dog in the back today. But I'm not leaving this when I go to my chiro, it's so early and first thing in the morning, it's only in the 50s. And it did warm up to about 60, 69 when I got out of my appointment. So I always leave the windows down while I'm there. And she's always in the shade. I take care of my baby. I love my baby. But she does need to go home and have her treatments done. She has a yeast and bacterial infection in her ear at the same time, and she's got bad dermatitis on her feet and her mouth. Sucks. My poor dog, she's special needs too. I just got so frustrated yesterday because of the money that I had to pay the vet, over $500 for her freaking allergy shot and the exam and all the medications. Like, dogs are just like kids, man. They're expensive. Always gotta go to the doctor. Something's always wrong. My boyfriend made that comment while we were gaming last night. He's like, they're like kids. I'm like, yeah, they are. That's why I'm glad I don't want any anymore. I used to want kids before I learned that I was this jacked up genetically, and now I don't want children to have my genetics. And at this point in my life, at 45, I mean, it's never too late to have kids, but being special needs and disabled myself, and I can barely take care of myself, my own basic needs on a daily basis, it's not fair to a child for me to try and bring, like, even adopted, like, even if I adopted somebody with better genetics than mine, like, and I don't mind being a stepmom, but I don't think my boyfriend will ever get custody of his 3-year-old. I just don't see that happening. At least unless he has a way better stable, like, neighborhood and or place to live. I just don't think his living situation's fit for children. And his lifestyle right now doesn't really align with having a 3-year-old in his house. I wish it was the other way around, but, you know, not all people are fit to be parents. I mean, he did parent, I think, the majority of his first 2 kids' lives, and he also does talk to his 3-year-old regularly. So it's really good, you know, like, and he pays his child support. He's a responsible man. I love that about him. I don't know which line they want me to go in. The one on the left. I'm gonna have to pause this for a second to talk to the freaking guy. We're back. Get in as soon as possible. It is only 10:30 in the morning, and there's 2 cars in front of me in the bay, and then there's 2 cars to the right of me in the bay. One of them's actually like a motorhome. Which, I guess motorhomes need oil changes too, you know, so at least it looks like it fits in their bay. I wonder what they do with the motorhomes that don't fit in their bay, if they have any that don't fit in their bay. Huh, I never thought about it. So, anywho, I think I need a choker. I want to make a choker too. Anywho, stomach's growling now. I distracted my own train of thought. The whole point of my whole story about what I was watching this morning, I haven't even gotten to it. So, for example, Steve Jobs, let's say 3 tasks one day. He has what's called 80% success with 20% noise. The noise are the things that are trying to prevent you from doing the tasks that you've deemed critical that you have to have accomplished by the end of the day or by a certain time. So he compared Steve Jobs to Elon Musk's noise. So Elon Musk is 100% success, 0% noise. And you know what that makes that them? ASSHOLES. They don't give a crap what the customer wants. They said Steve Jobs, I'm not going to say verbatim, but pretty much came down to, if you don't do what I say, or he's like, shut up and just do what I say. They don't know what they want until I tell them that they want it. And now look at Steve Jobs. People didn't know what they wanted until they were shown it. And because this guy, Kevin O'Leary, he had asked Steve Jobs during a business meeting or whatever, he's like, we should focus on what is the there is a balance, though. There is a balance on what the customer wants and what you can provide that customer. But also, while you still accomplish and get those three things that are critical to being done, and that is how you're a successful entrepreneur. You have to cut out the noise. If you're not a person that can cut it out and not listen to it, and you're a person that is basically, you have to be a person that don't give a crap about what anybody else wants and what they think. You have to do what is right for you, and you have to have those three critical things done in a day. It's called signal versus noise ratio. The signal is what is critical to accomplish, and the noise are the interruptions of you trying to get those three things done. So you have to be very mindful about, Elon Musk works not in 18 hours. He works critical things every 60 minutes. If those 60 minutes is not accomplished in that time, then he's going after those people that didn't help him get that accomplished. So it's a fine line. It's a fine line. You have to cut out the noise in your life. The things that are nagging you, saying you're not going to make it work, or listen to the customers instead of the other person. So you do, to a point, have to listen to the customers. Because, for example, he didn't give this example, but from my example, from thinking about it from this perspective that he was talking about, to be as successful and rich is cutting out as much noise as possible and not giving a crap about what anybody else says or does. So essentially, if it's an online platform, like social media presence, kind of entrepreneurship, you have to just ignore the trolls and just continue doing what you're doing. And so you're going to do the content you want to do, and if somebody disagrees with your content, who cares? It's not their content, it's yours. So you do with it what you want to, and don't give a crap what anybody else thinks. And I think I have somewhat of that kind of mentality in life already, but I've never looked at it from a perspective of noise to success ratio or accomplishment. So those are the two comparisons he gave. For example, Steve Jobs and Elon Musk. Steve Jobs, 80 to 20% ratio, 20% noise. Elon Musk, 100% signal, no noise. But the noise could include things like your family, your friends, your loved ones. So you're really alienating yourself also, going against human nature. And so in order to be successful, I feel like he's saying you have to be a complete jerk in order to be successful, because you have to cut out the noise. You have to not listen to the noise in order to be successful. You have to do those critical things every day. And if you didn't get that critical thing done that day, you're not necessarily a failure, but you've got to continue on that path. Maybe there was some noise the day prior that prevented you from getting that task done. So there's just not a lot of people out there that can shut out the noise. My ADHD allows me to sometimes. So it's a superpower and a curse, along with my EDS. My EDS is a superpower because I can tell kind of where we need to aim our treatment for the day. And the other times it's kind of muddied, and it's kind of hard to tell where we need to go with my treatment, with my chiro or PT for a day. But It's a lot of work. So I also, in order to be successful, accept that I will win money and lose money, and it has to not be about the money. It can't be about the money. It can't be, if you're going out there to, I'm going to be powerful, rich, if that's what you're going after, it's not going to work. It's got to be task oriented to be successful. It's got to be like critical things that you got to do. How do you know what the signal is versus the noise? It takes experience to learn what the signal and the noise is. But once you figure out what your signal is, go for it. Do not give up. Keep going. That is what I'm doing with my YouTube channel now, is I'm keeping going. I'm being consistent. I'm posting every day, whether it's a gaming video or a Dashcam diary or a chillin' with me. I still have more outfit reveals to do that I haven't done yet. And I haven't even filmed, or did I film the one in this outfit? I don't know. I think I did. I have to go back and look. I think I did wear this outfit. But I just want to say I'm super stoked that I feel like I'm going to be on the right path. And this is my year for rebirth. This is my year to shine. It is my year to rebuild myself from the inside out, spiritually, emotionally, physically. I am working hard before I go into surgery, whenever that surgery date will be. I am working so hard on this, and those are the critical things I'm trying to work on. And so every day, if I'm not putting effort towards accomplishing that task or that ultimate goal, these people only look a day in advance. They only worry about the day of. They don't worry about any future profits or anything. You work on 3 things in one day. Just get 3 things done in one day towards that goal for that day. You have to accomplish that goal. You're not successful if you don't accomplish it. But it can carry over to the next day. It just might take a little bit longer to be successful. But as long as you do this, keep your momentum going. And I see it in other ways. This is just a different person's perspective of how to be successful. And I listen to all kinds of things all the time about how to be successful, how you can do this, how you do that. Everybody's story is going to be unique, though. Not everybody's going to make it the same way, and you really have to find your niche, and you have to figure out what you are good at. Find your niche. Find out what it is that will make you successful. Don't just keep trying all these other get-rich-quick scams. They're scams. You don't need them. Can't believe I have an oil change already. I had an oil change right before I left in May. Well, it is July, so it technically is like every 2 to 3 months that I'm getting an oil change when I'm doing a lot of traveling. I mean, I did go to Vegas. I did go to Nevada, Southern California, and Eastern Washington, all within like 2 months time frame after my last oil change. So that's a lot of driving. Let's see my total mileage. My total mileage is 231,922. I'm getting closer to the 250 mark. Yeah, getting this guy old. Getting this good old FJ broken in. So anyways, I just wanted to check in with y'all, tell y'all what I've been learning over the last 4 hours. And with having my ADHD, I feel like I could be like somebody like an 80-20 person and be successful. Maybe more like 60-40, 70-30, something like that. I have a lot of ways to improve. Everybody in life does, so everybody can do something to help themselves be happier, healthier, and an overall just happier person. It can happen. And you can be successful and happy at the same time. Whether or not you can get away with not being a jerk when you're a leader like that, though, I don't know if I could be a jerk to be successful. That's just something I'm going to have to figure out on my own as I keep going and trying to start to open my own business. I love it. I'm just going to continue going on, and you know, I dress however I dress, but I do need to start listening to my boyfriend more. I'm just so used to being in such a defensive mode all the time that it's just out of habit, and these are habits that I don't want to keep. I'm trying to rewire my habits, and I need to start saying yes instead of no to everything. I'm not saying no to everything, but like, I'm just trying to be complicit and just, you know, not ruffle any feathers. And especially his. I did ask him the other day out of the blue, and it really took him aback because he's just like, what? I haven't even thought about that. I hope I didn't plant the idea in his head, and now he's starting to get bored kind of thing. But like, I go, you're not getting bored with me or anything, are you? He's like, what? No? Like, what are you talking about? Like, weird. Why are you bringing that up? Like, and I'm like, the thought did just come across my head randomly. But I don't want to think about anything negative and think of our relationship in that kind of light. I don't want him to get any ideas about it. And it's all about the power of suggestion. And so I'm trying to keep it more positive of whatever I do suggest or ask. Because I don't want to go back into bad habits in my relationships. My relationships are all short-lived for a reason. They, you know, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer all the time, but I do need to be able to talk about things, and it is what it is. But he said the minimal that made me feel good. The other day when I had an argument with my mom and I had to go to bed upset, which I couldn't sleep all night because of, I got a lot of levels on my guns though. I got a few levels up on my Call of Duty game. But anyway, I came on and explained to my boyfriend why I was so upset, and then I basically just have monologues where he just listens, and he doesn't have much to say back, but I just want him to get to know me. I am putting myself out there and putting more information out there just so he knows more about me. And I've never had relationships last very long, so it makes me a little self-conscious when I get to that point where I usually end up getting broken up with. I keep thinking the guy's going to come walk to my window. I'm going to have to talk to him, so I keep pausing it, so sorry about that. I'm trying to be continuity in my videos and keeping them under 30 minutes, but this is 3 minutes over, so I'm going to have to get off here. Plus, the oil change about to start, so I usually interact with the workers, like all of them, like bullshit. Just conversate, you know, small talk. I need to get better at small talk. But as I started my video, let me show you this beautiful bouquet that I picked my mom at my chiropractor's office. This is the largest bouquet of hydrangeas I've ever picked from them. I picked one last year from them, but it wasn't as big. But man, is it gorgeous. It's so beautiful. It matches my outfit too, so it's kind of cute. So I'm going to hop off of here, guys. I gave you guys as big of an update that I could. Just some more information I learned, and just thought I'd pass it all along about entrepreneurship and success rates and noise to signal ratio. The signal could be just a thought or an idea, or just something that is hitting you in the face that you have to accomplish for the day. Like, I need to get through paperwork and phone calls. And so I'm not going to be successful if I don't do them. And I've been procrastinating and putting them off for about 2 weeks now. I need to stop procrastinating. My dire critical signal I need to accomplish today is those things. I make progress every day by doing like one thing, just the minimal, because of my back pain lately, and my stress levels. The noise has been like 90% and 10% success rate. So I'm trying to change my signal to noise ratio. And some of it is outside factors of things with my family and such that dislodge my whole freaking tasks for the day. I had to change my tasks frequently to adapt to my environment. I'll find my balance someday, guys, and when I do, I will share with you with how I did that. So anyhow, I love you all. Peace out.